Well, Jason, thank you so much for inviting Showcase to #1 Savile Row. What an address! My goodness.
It is. We're very proud to be. The cornerstone of Savile Row.
I bet you are. And what is it about Savile Row that has made this address so prestigious around the world when it comes to men's tailoring?
So Savile Row is entirely unique. There's no other place in the world that has one street that is dedicated to true craft. The UK has always led the way in terms of fashion, always. Tailoring, those who master tailoring have gone on, particularly in Savile Row, and Tom Ford and others who've learnt their craft here and moved on to become designers. And whilst Savile Row for gentlemen from all over the world is unique, what's quite wonderful is it constantly evolves.
What makes a good men's suit?
So from our bespoke side, we have some of the most experienced cutters on Savile Row, most respected cutters on Savile Row. And a well-cut suit would make a short man tall, a wide man slim, and a well-tailored suit will always make a man stand taller, always.
So the difference between a good suit and a bad suit?
One's very bad and one will be extremely good. The difference between, you can tell a well-tailored suit. It's very obvious. And those who know most definitely know.
Well, we're very lucky because Gieves and Hawkes is #1 Savile Row, which is where we are right now. Talk to us about this incredible room.
So you're currently in what we would describe as the Gieves and Hawkes archive room. Here we tend to hold both all our historical pieces as well as some of our more current pieces. And it is a room that reflects not only our history, but the country's history. And we're incredibly proud to be able to present it in a manner that not only reflects the time that we've obviously been here, but the people we've worked with. And it's a record of our history and our culture.
Incredible. I mean, let's start with this. This looks very familiar to us as Brits.
So yes, it does. This is unique. This is the Royal Bodyguard, or the Gentlemen at Arms. This was a regiment that was formed back in Henry VIII's days. And
they used to get dressed here?
They did.
In this very room?
In this very room.
Wow, that's remarkable. And I also couldn't help noticing this and Princess Diana. Was this a jacket that she wore herself?
So this was a prototype when she was Colonel-in-Chief of the Hampshire Regiment that we were very fortunate enough to be able to design. Our history in terms of people that we've dressed go back all the way to when we formed in 1771. So we're very proud to have dressed Horatio Nelson, Admiral Nelson.
Wow.
All the way through to current people. I've got to be quite careful.
You're holding back, Jason.
Exactly.
You're holding back. Absolutely. I can only imagine from the photographs that we can see all over the wall here. And how much did James Bond influence just how prestigious Savile Row became globally?
So it's extraordinary. Both, I mean, television and culture of TV and movies always has an impact with Savile Row. So Roger Moore was a very strong client of Gieves and Hawkes, and we dressed a number of what you would have seen in James Bond movies with Roger Moore was created by Gieves and Hawkes.
So you've dressed the military, you've dressed royalty in the past, royalty of present?
Yep.
I will get something out of you, Jason. No, don't worry about it. I couldn't help but notice that the late Queen Elizabeth is wearing a cape up on the wall there, and there's also a very similar cape hanging up on your rails. Is that the very same cape?
It's not the very same cape. It's a prototype of the cape that we made.
And there's also a suit worn by Prince Philip.
So it was a suit we made for Prince Philip when he was 16 years old, yes, wow. Exactly.
I did want to ask a little bit more about this building, because I couldn't help noticing just how immense, it's huge and beautiful it is. Can you tell us a little bit about the building itself?
So this was the Royal Geographical Society, and our main room downstairs was then known as the map room, and it then contained the largest collection of maps of the then known world, and every expedition that was planned from Scott to the Antarctic to Livingstone were all planned from the map room downstairs. We moved into here in 1975 when the Royal Geographical Society moved to Kensington, and we've been here since then. It has a tremendous history of its own right, but the connection between Gieves and Hawkes and that history is something that we're now linking even more so.
Yeah, which is just so beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is wonderful. We're very lucky to be here.
It's an incredible building, remarkable history here. Thank you so much, Jason.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No problem at all.